retail, process manufacturing, chemical, and wholesale distribution. And we are partners to SAP, IBM, and Software AG. Varun, can you move to the next slide? These are some of our engagement models. We provide staff augmentation. We provide you with skilled resources, subject matter experts to support your projects. We undertake strategical tasking where Prosoft is responsible for predefined deliverables, and we undertake project-based engagements, and we provide managed services where Prosoft provides comprehensive outsourcing services and operation level agreement and collaboration. Next slide, please. These are some of our partners and our customers. Yep, go ahead, please. And who we are when it comes to web methods. We are the oldest and the strongest partners to web methods since 1997, when before they acquired by Software AG. Right now, we are the largest pool of web method subject matter experts, supporting clients all versions of web methods ranging from 4.x to 9.x. We have extensive experience in assessments, upgrades, mentoring, infrastructure, services, and support. And Prosoft uses customer-focused agile global delivery models and value-driven methodologies to provide a fixed rate on-budget delivery. And we offer web methods 8.x and 9.x on-demand workshops. With this, I'll hand it over to, one slide left. Integration service offerings, what we include, we provide a complete partnership, governance and center of excellence, ESB reference architecture and strategy, BPM solutions, 24/7 middleware, infra, and application manager services. And then I already spoke about customer-specific on-site web methods workshops. And next slide, please. Yeah, with this, I'll hand it over to Varun. Varun?
Yeah, thanks, James, for the introduction. Hello, everybody. Today, I'm going to present typical challenges in ESB as a host of enterprise services, and how those challenges can be tackled using Terracotta in-memory solutions. These are the topics we are going to discuss. We are going to discuss ESB, how it is the right place to host enterprise services, and typical challenges in hosting enterprise services overall or in ESB, and how in-memory can address those enterprise challenges, and what we think are the challenges with the traditional memory, and then we'll discuss different varieties of Terracotta in-memory solutions products, and how Terracotta is tightly integrated with Software AG products. These are the topics we are going to cover. And going to the next slide. Today we see a lot of companies evolve from point-to-point integrations to using ESBs, and lately they have discovered that they need to host enterprise services in ESB rather than any other individual applications, so that they can govern these services better and address the business while hiding the back-end processing. Some of them are customer-facing enterprise services. Next, going to the other topic. These are the typical challenges we see with the enterprise services, common challenges hosting services in ESB. So majority of customers now face challenge in building faster customer-facing front ends due to many I/O operations or disk operations in the underlying applications. Even the databases rely on physical disks for storing data. This is one of the challenge, and the next challenge would be for simple read services or select services, which take huge amounts of time for the same request. The same request comes multiple times, but every time it takes a large amount of time. That is one of the use case or a typical challenge. that current enterprises face. And for example, many companies do price lookups, and they tend to calculate every time that request comes in. So, this is a huge burden to the all the resources in the environment. And another case is ESB sometimes hosts aggregate services, which will combine results from different sources, and this aggregation may take a while, and which affects customer-facing websites or any other front ends. If these services serve the front-end applications. And one other challenge is insert or update services. Another pattern. For example, we see a lot of companies. We see this order create or order injection service takes huge amount of time, particularly when the payload is very high. So this we have seen in a couple of places where we do consulting, and these are the common business challenges or IT challenges we see in almost all the places. So now let's see how these challenges can be addressed by in-memory solutions. So in-memory, first of all, there is to compare the in-memory solution versus disk storage or disk operations. There is a huge difference. Sometimes the difference is sometimes thousand times faster or even more. So we will have a huge advantage with this in-memory solutions performance-wise, and a lot of companies they are adopting to these in-memory solutions, and they have seen they appreciate the results of what they see. And now, if you go to the read services, one of the second case is, for example, this read pricing and getting the pricing or aggregate responses. We can improve the performance by caching the results in memory solution and only synchronize the data in either batch mode or based on events in the backend. So basically, we can for the same calls, if we see the pattern that we are getting calls. We're getting the same request multiple times in a day or over the period of time, then we can carefully plan the cache, and basically we can cache the results so that the response will be faster. And also we can plan, and we have observed that most of these pricing calls or most of these type of interfaces, they have only very 2 to 3% of changes per day. So what we can do is, instead of for these changes, instead of getting all the calls and do the calculation every time, we can do we can synchronize the data from backend. We can cache the results and sync the cache from backend periodically, either periodically or if there are any changes on the backend for the particular combination of requests. We can basically, based on the event, we can sync that cache from backend, and we can provide the faster services to the either consumers or front-end applications. That is one other solution. And coming back to the other challenge with insert or update service, we see these order create, for example, these order create or order injection process. A lot of companies, what we see, what they are doing is they are breaking the process, basically breaking the whole process into 2 different sub-processes, and they actually validate the request and send the response immediately back to the consumer or front-end application, and do the order creation, actual order creation in the back-end at a later point of time, not very late, but at a later point of time, and send the confirmation to via emails or something. So in this way, with in-memory solutions, what we can do is we can maintain the data that is required for validating the actual order in the ESP, and and we can validate the request and send the response immediately back to the consumer. And we can actually send the request to backend and create the order. That is one way to address the issue. And there is another way with using in-memory solution is we can actually basically maintain all the data in memory, and we'll do the whole order create process in memory. With noticeable performance improvements, and we can just sync the backends, whatever we need to for the storage, order creation, that process. Now coming back to the next slide, we had some concerns about traditional memory. One of major concern was data loss due to restart or crashes, and this was a severe problem. But Terracotta in-memory solutions have perfectly addressed these issues, and they have there is a feature called restartable, and with this feature, even after restart, the data will survive the restart or crashes. And they have also in memory they have the failover capability. If one of the server crashes, it will automatically take over the other node. And they have addressed the security. Part of the security can be managed on Terracotta solutions itself, and part of it can be covered through the ESB that it is connected to, like web methods. Now, let us look at different varieties of Terracotta in-memory solutions. First one is EHCache. EHCache is standard-based open source caching API that enables application to fetch frequently used data memory, rather than retrieving it from database or the backend system. And it scales from in-process with one or more nodes all the way to mixed in-process out of the process configurations. In the amount of terabytes. That is another advantage with the in-memory solutions. They can manage terabytes of memory. And Terracotta actively develops and maintains and supports this EHCache as a professional open source project. And there is another variety is BigMemory Go from Terracotta. This Terracotta offers BigMemory for enterprise-grade in-memory data management with high availability, support, consulting, and training services. It lets you put all your data in memory, limited only by how much RAM you have in your machine, or how much you can add it, memory you can add to the system. With BigMemory Go, you can get unlimited in-memory data management on 1 JVM, and 32 GB of it is free. And it has advanced monitoring, search, and management capabilities. The next variety is Terracotta BigMemory Max. BigMemory Max is for in-memory management in server array. It lets you manage all your data in memory across distributed servers. So big data, basically, BigMemory Max maintains server arrays for failover and other advanced features, and it has unlimited in-memory data management and across distributed servers. And this guarantees the data consistency and fault tolerance. Advanced monitoring, search, and management features come along with this BigMemory Max. And Terracotta in-memory cache. BigMemory is just an extension from Terracotta EHCache that enables you to create caches that reside outside of the Java heap. So these caches reside actually outside of Java heap, and they are not bound to the garbage cleaning of Java heap JVM. Using BigMemory, you can create much larger caches than with the local on-heap memory alone. You can use up to terabits for caching, depending on the platform you use. and it creates caches that are not subject to the JVM garbage collection, as I mentioned before. Terracotta shared cache, how it is integrated to WebMethods product. This diagram shows with different WebMethods products using the Terracotta server array. Cache is maintained centrally on Terracotta server array, and clients access the cache via network, and it can cache multiple terabytes of data. Yes. Terracotta is can be tightly integrated with integration server, and it uses for public caches. It creates custom caches that can be used by integration, and it supports caches residing in BigMemory at Terracotta server array. And the integration server clustering requires Terracotta server array. It stores and retrieves data from server array. Terracotta event server. Terracotta array can be used. A Terracotta array can be used for event server also. It caches DB tables and views, and supports caches residing in BigMemory at Terracotta server array. And it supports high availability, stores information that needs to synchronize between event servers during startup. This master and slave configurations. And Terracotta can be also be used for mediator. It caches virtual services in mediator, and it also caches the following components like policies, performance metrics, consumer applications, and registered consumers. Terracotta and trading networks, they go also together, and it stores session-based query results in a cache, and it uses Terracotta server array to store the data. FTN is clustered. So we typically see integration server. We typically see these streams in clustering. So configuration in integration server side, it is a few steps like going through the menus, and there is some additional configuration on the Terracotta side. And as Prosoft, as a rich consulting experience and exposure to a lot of client environments, we see a lot of business challenges, IT challenges, and we have technical capability like with these technologies. So we address a lot of these business challenges and IT challenges. That is our advantage. So I'd like to thank you for this your time, and James.
Yep. Thanks, Ron. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. We are early today. We still have 10 minutes more, so I would welcome any questions any attendee may have. There will be a GoToMeeting window. To your right side. You can place your questions there. We'll be providing a copy of the presentation right after this session is over. I'll be sending you a thanks note. I'll be glad to share the copy of the presentation, and we'll share a link to watch the recorded session too. It seems, there are no questions. I would like to thank everybody. If you have any additional questions, if you need any information on Terracotta and other software AG products, you can feel free to send out an email. You can always reply to the thanks note I'll be sending, and we'd be happy to address any of the questions. Thank you so much. You have a great day ahead. we look forward to meet you in the next webinar next Wednesday. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody.